Hello listeners and fellow Game Pass fans, get yourself set and ready for your favourite unofficial Game Pass podcast, Game Pass News. So I'll hand you over to Nick and Sean and get the show started.
Welcome to Game Pass News, recorded live Thursday, December 1st, 2022. I'm Nintendo, one half of the awesome GPN crew, Mr. Sean Abbott, the hairlessly handsome man from across the pond. Well, he's the other half, and today we talk about Bethesda, acquisitions, and someone's winning money, and all the things happening on Game Pass. You better sit down, you better buckle up, because Game Pass News is one crazy ride. Seconds. Can he get it? Can he get it with just a minimal 13 seconds?
First person view.
Can be.
Oh, can be. I don't like that. All right, look at this. The extended cut.
That's right. Extended cut. Yep. Any other questions for me?
Can be a first person view.
What do you got? Ask me anything. Yes or no?
Set in space.
No.
Ooh. I was going Dead Space, but never mind.
You could ask time. Time would really help you out. Narrow down when. Year, I mean.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that. What year?
Okay, no, you got to narrow it down. A yes or no. These are yes or no questions, Sean.
Okay. It's like it's in my head. It's like I can even. It doesn't. The music doesn't change from this either. It doesn't get more intense or less intense. This is it.
There you go. I skipped ahead a little bit. I don't know if this is gonna help you though. Really, that beginning is like its main theme. This is probably gonna throw you off more than anything. All right.
I don't know. You don't know how long I sit at title screens.
That's a fair point. I don't. You're right. I don't for very long at all. It's a Microsoft Studio. I'll just start giving you hints.
It's not Gears because that's
no. It's on Game Pass. Like right now on Game Pass.
Plague Tale.
No.
No.
It's out. Well, this is a tough question. This is a tough one. We first saw it, I think, 2 years ago. But here's the final one. But technically, it was released this year.
Grounded.
That's Grounded. That's it.
Okay. I won't accept that one. That one was like I had you to give too many very, very good hints for me to get anywhere near that. But yeah, that's why I knew it. It was there.
Yeah.
And I sat listening to that music a lot while trying to figure out what the hell I was doing. So.
Yeah, it won the Xbox Game of the Year. So I thought, well, we'll throw it in as the sound of the week, I guess we'll call it. So a lot of hours into that game, and that first initial that's like its main deal. You get that all the time. So at least that's what I remember most from it. So how you doing this week, man? How's life?
Busy, very busy. This week's not a very good week for work. So
yeah, 80 some hours. That's not even human.
84, and then if you want to chuck in how much I've cycled some 1, 2, 3. It takes me to 8. If you want to take travel time in cycling, that's 88 hours. So
88 hours.
yeah, it's not good.
Daggone, man, that is a
It
lot of
should.
time.
See, the shift pattern I do
Mm-hmm.
is really great until I get this kind of week. So normally I get what we call in our house is the bad week because
Mm-hmm.
I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I have Thursday off, and then I'll work Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. So I finished like the following Monday morning. That's not very nice to do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up Monday. I picked up today, Thursday, as an extra shift. So it's added another 12 hours to it. So I've done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights. So
Listen
yeah,
here, people.
not much time. It's not like we have not done a lot. We've like Lindsay's been very busy. She's had a friend's 40th at work, so she's had that doing. The kids have been really good. Logan's had his first parents' evening, and that was a fantastic success. Jay did a really nice random act of kindness today and went and bought our mum some flowers because this
Aw.
week's quite heavy. Yeah, it's quite heavy on Lindsay, so because she's got to take the kids to my mum's and my mum then takes the kids to school and she's got she then picks them back up from my mum's afterwards. She's got tea to cook and stuff like that. So it's quite heavy on. It's really heavy on Lindsay, and then picking up an extra shift isn't really that fair on her. But it was the only extra shift really this month that I've been offered, so I thought I'd take it. Because could have paid for Christmas and all these games that are coming out. So yeah, pretty good. Other than that, I'm just a little bit tired. Not played anything really other than one mobile game all week. So
Well, yeah, when you work 84 hours in 1 week, I mean that happens. But you're here. That's what I mean.
I'm here. Yeah. I mean,
Kudos, applause,
there's parts of me here. I'm semi-mentally here. I'm very tired. I'm very physically here. But if at any point you see me going, just like give me a nudge.
I'll poke you. I'll poke you from across the pond somehow. Yeah, it's been.
How about you? You've had an interesting week.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week. I mean, we podcasted last Tuesday, and then we had family from out of town come over for Thanksgiving. Hung out at Thanksgiving. Went tobogganing, which was really fun. Like on this frozen track, it was. I don't know. We went like 40 miles an hour or something like that. It was a ton of fun. 4 people sit on this little toboggan thing and fly down a track. It's like a 1/4 mile long. It's a ton of fun. Saw some lights with all the extended family, and then they left, and I've played a lot of games, but that's only because I had a little medical procedure, so I've been a little laid up. So, but all's well. I'm doing fine now. So yeah, but so my list, as your list is short, my list has a ton of stuff coming on. So I'll be able to talk about all the games, and a couple of them unfortunately frustrating. So yeah, but that's
oh no.
Yeah, that's been my week. And the turkey's gone, so we've ate all the leftovers now. It's all out of the house. All the bad food's out of the house. I think I gained an extra 6 pounds. I'm now above my 190 weight. Too many pumpkin.
Just in time
rolls.
for Christmas.
Yeah, I know, right? God bless it. So yeah, I need that. I'm gonna by the time it's all over, I'm gonna need the contest back. So.
Well, I fully advocate for the guys from Dazzle to Dark to carry out the wishes of everybody in doing the post Christmas Chewy's bracket. I think that is an excellent time to do it. Hyper focuses people. So yeah, I mean, John, Drew, if you're listening, that would be great because it fucking help me.
Yeah, I'm back. I'll probably be back there. I'm really trying hard to keep the weight down, but I'm not able to exercise at the moment. And right after coming right off of Thanksgiving is not helpful. So yes, it's been a little frustrating. So yeah, but we're gonna keep up the good fight. That's my plan. Yeah. Anything else before we jump into top stories?
No, we have.
Oh wait, we have events.
We
have events. God, why do I always forget about it? Sean, tell us about events. We have money to give away. I almost forgot about money.
Being the Yorkshireman of this podcast, it's usually me that's like, let's not mention the people winning the money because you know money. But yeah, we've got an announcement to make. We've got 2 announcements to make. Really, we've got the winner of the Ground Hunter, and then how the next achievement hunt is going to go. So free announcements. Jeez, I've lost count. But yes, if you want to bring up the wheel of delights,
I am going to do that. I'm going to try to do it in a way that you can see it as well. Bear with us, listeners and watchers. This gets a little.
Nick loves to do things on the fly. So last week he wasn't here because he forgot his camera. This week we go and try and do the podcast, and the camera wants to take over the rest of the world and stops him from being able to do audio.
Yeah.
And now we're trying to bring up the Wheel of Doom. Death.
The Wheel of Death and Doom is now here. Sean, can you see the Wheel of Death and Doom?
I can. Look at that. Like Link has done really well, and so has Google King. So this is going to be interesting.
So, I mean, I would love to sit here and chat about this game, but in full transparency, we knew this game was going to be popular. It was not popular with us. So, I didn't even touch it. I didn't even come close.
Unfortunately, I discovered that there was a new mode in Warzone that I really enjoyed. So, that kind of sucked up most of my time that I could play gaming. And I'm seriously jonesing from that game. So,
yeah, so kudos to Finch, who has 3. We'll go from bottom to top. Finch has 3. Hambone with 9 entries. Now remember, these are the entries, which is 5 achievement points. So that means Finch had 15 achievement points. Silk Drop had 12 entries, and then Kaboski's got 112. Link, Jesse's son, Nintendo Dad, has 197, and Goobla King once again 200 entries. Man, that's just crazy.
That means that guy got all the points.
That's right.
Got all the achievements.
He got it all. He's done it all. All right. So for the spin, it'll spin for 5 seconds. Whoever lands gets $15 eShop card. 1, 2, 3, spin.
You got luck. Hey, Link!
Link gets the $15 eShop card. We'll reach out to you. We are also going to send him the Achievement Hunter pin. Since Goobla already got one in the last go-round, going to send it to Link this time. But let me try to figure out how to stop doing all this stuff. And you chat a little bit about what the heck we're doing from here on out.
So last week we talked about removing the achievement hunters from just one game. This is now going to go to be a month-on-month deal from the 1st to the 30th or 31st, or if we land in February, and it's not a leap year, 28th or 29th, which I think next year is a leap year, so we need to keep an eye on that. So yeah, it's going to run like that. You can tally up as much game score as you want in whatever games you want. Go play everything on Game Pass. You've got Callisto Protocol coming out this month. You've got High on Life, Lego Star Wars has just dropped. Shadow drop from that. We're going to talk about that later. So there's a ton of games. There's a ton of games on Game Pass. There's a ton of games coming to Xbox. So whether or not you purchase them or you play them on Game Pass, we're not fixing it to just one game or to just Game Pass games. So go out there, play as many games as you want, play one game to the absolute death, rack up a load of game score, and then just send us a picture of the game score for this month. I think Nick's done a really cool video showing you how you can get to this section of the Xbox app. So if you follow our video or follow the steps that we can talk you through, go to just your game score for this month, get us a screenshot, send it to me, or send it to us on Twitter. I'll collate everybody. I'll get everything sheet made up, and then we will go from there. Exactly the same process. Every 5 game score gets you 1 entry, and then we'll spin the wheel. Highest place gets is it 3 months of Game Pass?
Yes. So that's the other thing. It's no longer just $15 eShop card, or I think I said eShop card for the contest. Xbox card. My bad. And so it's no longer $15 Xbox card. It is now 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate. So almost a $50 deal you're getting here.
Yep. So yeah, go out there, get it played, play anything. Remember, we've got lots of stuff coming. Excuse me, I've got too much fizzy stuff. The fact that Star Wars Legos, that's the amount of achievements you can probably smash in that is going to be unbelievable. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
And I know
I
that's
have
going to be
not gotten
huge.
the video out yet. I'll get the video out probably tomorrow, showing where you're going on your on your Game Pass app to get to these achievements. Actually, it is your Xbox app. There's so many apps, Sean. So
Yeah, so it's
showing
you
where
go
to
to your
go.
Xbox app. Once it's loaded up, you click on your logo in the bottom right hand corner. That then loads up your score. Go to achievements, and it tells you, it gives you like a little nice light blue kind of duotone banner at the top of the page. You click on that, and it tells you your gamer score for this month, but it also pits you against everybody else that's in your friends list. So if me and Nick are in your friends list, or other people in the community are in your friends list, you can see how everyone's doing. You can kind of think, oh, I'm going to have to try and play a different game because I want to boost my score. So, it's a great way of trying to keep in touch with everybody and drive yourself to play different games and unlock the highest score you can get.
Yeah, which you don't have to do this. Okay, so you don't have to do this part, but we think it would be fun. So if you, we will post Sean's Xbox tag, gamer tag in the tweet, and probably in the graphic we'll make. And so if you add him, then if you're in the top 20, we'll post that periodically throughout the month, and you'll be able to see where you are. Sean will just take a screenshot of that, and we'll post it out on the old Twitter sphere, and probably on Discord as well. And so you'll be able to see where you are compared to everybody else. But remember, you do not have to get the best score to win this. You can have 5 achievement points that get you 1 entry, and that 1 entry might win you the 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate. So this is not like, oh, I have to play so much to win. No, you have a better chance, but it doesn't mean you're definitely going to win.
Also, if you're a Warzone fan, I'm really good with Photoshop. If you were a really good teammate. I'm kidding.
All right. So obviously we're not above blackmail either. So there you go. Or bartering or whatever. So
I'm just kidding. But I do need more teammates. So we need to kind of figure out a time when we can play. Because
yeah, but you wanted good teammates, Sean. I am.
No, I don't.
I am a warm body.
There is no such thing as a bad teammate.
Okay. Yeah. You say this now. The first time we play together, we're gonna podcast, and you're gonna be like, so revision. There is such a thing as a bad teammate, and his name is Nintendo. All right, let's move on. So congratulations, Link. Reach out to you. Awesome job. And yeah, and so now we can really, for real, get into the top stories. All right,
some
top
stuff.
stories. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's some stuff kicking around on the old interweb about Xbox and a couple of things. So yeah, we should have some decent things to talk about.
We should, but do we really? No, I'm just kidding. We got some Bethesda news. Todd Howard on Starfield's Xbox exclusivity. He says, "Wow, it's just awesome." He thinks it's awesome that it's exclusive. This on the back of heels also of Activision saying, we don't so much think it's awesome. We're not so sure if we like the Game Pass model, or they also threw in the PS Plus model. So, yeah, I don't know. But I guess if you're owned by the people, why wouldn't you think it's awesome, right?
Yeah, definitely. I was kind of hoping when he was talking about like Xbox's exclusivity that he was kind of saying, "Oh yeah, it's just the game's great," but I think he was being sarcastic with that comment, which I didn't like. But hey, look, we've got this really good game. It's coming with thousands of hours of dialogue that you have to kind of sit through, or you can go mining in space. It's made by Bethesda, which is a fantastic developer. So hopefully, this game will be absolute stellar, and it won't be just a remake of No Man's Sky that we have to wait 12 to 18 months for an actual decent version for it to come out. So that's my genuine worries with Starfield.
Those are valid worries. So what you're saying is you're hoping that they don't Halo Infinite the shit out of this game. So
yeah, definitely. The No Man's Sky was a fantastic idea, not done very well first time round. Or second time round. It took them, I think, a third attempt to actually get the decent patch where the game was actually enjoyable to play. I'm kind of hoping Starfield and Bethesda have sat back and gone, yeah, look at how bad this thing did because they did this and we needed to do that. And people wanted this, and this is what they said about it. And they've kind of done that, and they've done a lot of testing and a lot of beta testing and kind of alpha testing and gone, look, okay, cool, we're happy with this. It can go now. I'm kind of hoping that's why we got the delay until 2023. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right. I do think they can wait until January, but then they need to start laying a real foundation for when this game is coming out in 2023. Like that and not only that, but they need to be talking. I think they need to be talking about why it's not just No Man's Sky. I mean, they can't say, "Hey man, this is No Man's Sky, but like it's good the first time." Like that doesn't work because No Man's Sky is now also good. I mean, if you listen to people who go back to play it, they're like, "Wow, this game has changed a lot. It's really, really good." So that argument is lame, and I think there's a ton of people who played No Man's Sky that are then going to say, that's not what I'm here for. So I think in the beginning of the year, they need to come out with a campaign that shows why this game is not No Man's Sky, why it's a huge leap forward from No Man's Sky. Otherwise, I think they're going to get left behind, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, there could be we've got the Game of the Year awards coming soon. I can't remember when that happens. There could be this could be not like a world premiere gameplay demo of the game that drops, just a small video with boom, this date. There you go. Not just 2023, like a solid date of March 2023.
Yeah, it's literally in 7 days, Sean. 7 days.
Yep.
We're chatting about Game of the Year awards.
This one and Redfall, I think, are going to be two games that we might see something of at the Game of the Year awards.
We might see a world premiere. Sounds good. I'm sure we probably
Jeff
will.
Keighley everywhere.
That's right. Yeah. I hope whoever voiced that makes a whole ton of money, because they say it like
voice guys usually do pretty well. So
I did not mean to step there. Yeah, I just I don't have the heart to sit through the Game Awards. Like I don't have the stamina. I don't know the endurance.
I am
to sit through.
I'm definitely going to be doing the YouTube
crap.
YouTube highlight video, or then just all the video drops of the stuff that was displayed.
Yeah, I just can't do it. It's just I think it's cool. I think it's great to get the awards. Oh man,
I'd rather watch the soccer ball.
The soccer what? What? No, Ninja Lunchbox. I did not vote. I didn't vote. No voting happened over here. Mostly because I feel bad usually trying to vote on these games, because like I didn't play them all, so I'm like, I don't know, maybe that game is better than the one that I would vote for. I just played those 2 out of the 4, so that's why I usually just
2. Tunic and As Dusk Falls. They were probably the only 2 games we played.
Well, that's probably true. That's
and Splatoon 3 for yourself.
Yeah, Splatoon 3. I did play that one. Todd Howard, the other piece of Bethesda news, which at first I didn't think was that interesting when I saw the thing. The title is Bethesda wishes Elder Scrolls 6 development was going quicker. And I was like, well, yeah, of course they do. They like the game to be here now so that they could, make money. But actually, it's in the quote is a little bit more interesting than that. He says, "Yeah, I wish it was done. I wish it was soon. We want them out too. I wish they didn't take as long as they did, but they do. If I could go back in time, it would never have been my plan to wait as long as it's taken for Elder Scrolls 6. And I thought just the way he says that is like, I wonder, it seems like he's like, hey, listen, if I could go back in time, I would do something a bit different than what we're doing like right now. I don't know if it's game style or if it's like what they prioritized first, second, and third in their development queue. You know what I mean?
It's also the marketing, like, the game, Elder Scrolls, or like the the original Elder Scrolls Online is doing better. It's picking up. The numbers are
Mhm.
rising. Oh, it's dropping. We're going to drop some DLC. Oh, let's develop this next DLC while this one's rising. So then, like, as this one starts to fall, we've got the next DLC to come. Like, if he means that, rather than just doing robes of DLC, if it had been better to just kind of like drop one DLC and then focus on making the next game and get people hyped for that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I also kind of wonder if they're looking at the fervor for the next Elder Scrolls compared to, I wouldn't say it's tepid, but this very cautious response to Starfield. And I wonder if he sits here and looks at like, well, we chose to go a new IP route, and we're not so sure that was a great idea. Like, I wonder if he's thinking, man, if right now we could be on the eve of the next Elder Scrolls, I would flip these two development cycles in a heartbeat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because yeah, I get the feeling he knows that Elder Scrolls is what everybody wants, and everybody may love Starfield. Like, that's the thing, but from the first few looks we've seen, I don't feel it has garnered the kind of groundswell that they were looking for, I think. So.
No, and you're asking a lot of a developer to do two huge games. Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls is massive. Like, even just the original like single player campaign was huge. So to them bring in the whole online thing and have all the different mechanics behind that and try and develop that at the same time as you're trying to develop something as big as Starfield, there's a really big ask. And Bethesda are doing really well to just have those games, developing those games side by side. That's probably taking a lot of man hours and a lot of manpower, or people power, to be politically correct. But
People's power. Yeah,
yeah,
no, you're
so
definitely right.
it's a big ask. It's like, trying to think. I can't think of another developer that's probably did try to develop and bring two games of that size out, and that's not just on the hype and the follower base size. It is literally on the physical size of the games. We know Starfield's going to be huge. It's got loads of different planets. There's all the hours of dialogue. There's the different variants of everything you can do, all the different ships. Elder Scrolls Online, you've got all the different missions and things that you can do, all the different co-op stuff you can do, all the different abilities you can unlock, all the different pathways you can take with the game. So the two games are very similar in the fact there's a lot going on, but so different in game style. It's unreal. So Bethesda are doing a good job. Like, I wish Todd wouldn't try and push them, because the last thing we want is two pushed games to come and then both be absolute steaming heaps of garbage.
Yeah, and I don't know that he is. I think that's kind of, he's just saying, "Hey, listen, I wish this was out." And to be honest, like I said, the title made me think, well, I'm not going to even put this in because it's obvious, obviously everybody wishes the games were all out right now. Every game was all out right now. But just the way he said it made me think, it feels like there's like a little regret on how things played out, or like maybe he wishes he would have done something a little different. I don't know. I might just be reading into it, but what else would we do? That's what we do. We read into shit. So that's what Todd Howard. That's our Bethesda news for the week, people. I thought it'd be fun, Sean, to look back at last month and look forward to. But start with looking back in November with what we know is out. It's out. It's done. It's the 1st of December, so we know all the games that came in November. What was your favorite Game Pass game that came out in November?
So looking back for all the different ones that I played, I played Return to Monkey Island. I played. Did I play Somerville? Yeah, Somerville. I played Pentiment, and I played Ghost Song. They're the 4 from last month that I played.
I think I know what it is.
Yeah. I'm gonna go, because I played it to the end. I'm gonna go with Somerville. I very much enjoyed the play dead inside kind of vibe that the game had with the new edition of the 3D kind of stuff. I liked the story, liked how simple the game was to play. I liked the characteristics of the controls and things like that. I liked the puzzles, and it's the one that I played to the end, where Pentiment, I couldn't get past the fucking noise, which everybody knows I hate by now. Ghost Song, I just haven't got back to it because I picked up some of it and played it to the end and used all my time. But that is one that I would like to go back to. It's still on the dashboard. It's still sat there waiting for me to go back and play. It's got that Metroidvania feel to it that I absolutely love. But Somerville is the game for me last month.
Gotcha. Yeah, I really thought you were going to go with Ghost Song. Because you were like super high on that game. So yeah, I was surprised. I would have been wrong.
Yeah, it's just because it's good. It's got to a point now where I know I've got a lot of groundwork to do, which means I know I've got a lot of time to sink into the game. And with work and like everything leading up to Christmas and things like that, with the stuff we've got going on at home, I know like if I'm focusing time on gaming, it's on stuff that I really want to do, which at the moment is to play a lot of Call of Duty. So Game Pass games are currently taking a little bit. It's really got to snatch my attention. So
Antonio has entered the chat. What's up, man? He asked, by chance, do we have any other socials besides Twitter? We have Facebook. That I believe is it. Am I right about that? I don't know. There's all these fancy ones.
If you want to go for social media, out of the several that are out there, we use Facebook and Twitter.
Yes, yeah. So. And there's, I know John's getting on this other he's been raving about this other thing, that the new Twitter. I don't know. I don't know, Sean. I don't know if this old dog can learn a new social media trick, but I'd give it a shot, I suppose. But at the moment, that's where we are, Antonio. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. So I didn't play a ton of games on the Game Pass thing. I played Return to Monkey Island. I played Vampire Survivors, which, by the way, Ninja Lunchbox says that's his game of November. Hive. Yeah, I think that's the one that John was talking about. Yeah, so Hive is growing. Hive is all the rage. I don't know if I have the ability to deal with multiple multiple socials. Pentiment, I played a day of... no. I didn't finish the day in Pentiment, which I wanted to do. It was so slow, so much dialogue. And I mean, I don't want to... For me, it's just too much. Maybe it works for y'all. Maybe it works for somebody out there. For me, man, I was falling asleep. There was so much dialogue. And just not enough interest in what was going on. Played Gungrave Gore. That was fun arcade shooter. And I played Soccer Story. That's what I played. And it is very hard to make this decision for me.
You played Lappin as well.
How did I forget about that? Yeah, I played all the way through the demo piece of crap game that was Lappin. And I say that only because the game is absolutely fantastic, but the fact that it's a demo... I mean, it's not a preview, it's a demo. It literally says that after you get through the first level and a half. And they don't tell you. I can't vote for Lappin. Otherwise, I probably would. Soccer Story, I had some issues with. I'm having some issues with. So that one, Sean, I may have to go with Vampire Survivors as my game of November.
That's fair enough. I mean, it's got a lot of hype. I think you've enjoyed playing it. Ninja Lunchbox has enjoyed it. I think Tim's enjoyed it to an extent as well, I believe. Mm-hmm. The video that Ninja Lunchbox shared in the party chat in Discord was unreal. I was like trying to figure out which person's the character he's controlling.
The screen gets nuts. No doubt it does. Oh. Now I could like Soccer Story more. But I am frustrated with it at the moment. And I will talk about that a little bit later, but yeah. So, Sean, looking forward into December, of course, we don't know everything, but we know a little bit more as of today.
They keep adding to that crystal ball.
That's right. So what are you looking forward to most in December? Coming up.
High on Life. That's probably it.
Yeah. So we got a piece of something. Was it from Hambone that dropped that little piece of information?
Yeah, about the feature-length films and shorts and stuff that's going to be involved in the game as well.
What the hell do you make of that?
I'm
Dropped
all right.
High on Life includes 4 full-length movies and new Justin Roiland, too old to know what that means, animated shorts. Nobody's done it, so we were like, let's figure out a way how to license some of these movies. That's the quote.
I like it. I like that the Squanch Games have kind of gone, nobody's done this before. We could do it and people might really like it. We're going to make this with, they're making an absolute stellar game. Let's just, anybody that's a Rick and Morty fan or anybody that's got like a tongue in cheek like aspect to them, bit of dark humor, you're going to love this game. It's just up there. It's like, I can't wait. And then you've got these guys that are developing this really tongue in cheek dark humor game that are like, yeah, but nobody else has done this. Why not try it? Let's allow people from outside of us to make shorts and feature-length films and stuff that we can then feature in our game somehow. It might even be there's just this part of a side quest that you go and you watch a short. You go to a certain part of the game and you watch this animated short.
Yeah, but that would be
complete.
Fine. But the 4 full-length movies. What, you go on a side quest, and all of a sudden, an hour and a half later, with a bucket of popcorn, you start playing the game again? Like, I mean, this is what I want to know how this works, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Because it just makes no sense to me where I'm like, oh, I'm going to go over here and enter this room, and then all of a sudden it's like, and then it's just like, I mean, a full length, that has to at least be an hour. 45 minutes, an hour, right? Yeah. Wouldn't you say?
Let's think about this from a streamer's point of view. So you want to do a watch party. There's this really cool animated feature-length film that could be that is hilarious. You've been in and you've watched it once on your own. And as a streamer, you're thinking, this would be really cool to share with everybody else. And it's licensed to the game. So you aren't then going to be under some crazy copyright law if you then stream yourself watching the feature-length film with all your viewers in chat talking, and you generate a watch party. If that kind of thing can happen, that's going to be great because it's a community builder. So they're allowing streamers to be community builders on the back of feature-length movies that aren't going to go to the cinema, so you don't have the copyright and the whole sharing scenario. It's interesting. If they can license it in such a way that you can do that, it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to know. I just want to see, or I want to know how it's going to be done.
Yeah,
I want to know,
and because it's never been done, it's new.
I know, yeah, but like, is it going to be in the game? Is it just going to be like something where you come up and you're like, hey, do you want to play the game, or do you want to watch one of our 4 full-length movies? Like, I just can't.
But that's what I'm saying is it might not be a quest that you have to do to further yourself in the game. It could just be that it's there. You have 4 of these side quests that are like you can go and do it. You can do it multiple times if you've enjoyed it. It's just always kind of there. I
mean, so here's something so you unlock art, which normally I don't give a shit about art, just to be honest. Like, it's just like in a lot of games you'll unlock these like, oh, here's an art piece of this baddie, or here's this sound clip or whatever. And I don't care about that stuff. I just don't. Like, I mean, I may like flip through it. Usually when I flip through it, it's just to like get the checkbox off that says that it's something new that I've unlocked so that I can get rid of it.
Yeah, I hate that too.
Yeah, but if you're telling me I unlock something in this game that's like a short or like a full movie, like a full-length movie that maybe like goes more in depth on what I was doing, like I'm in a little like, I don't know, objective or level, and then you leave it and it's like, hey, you've now unlocked this movie that goes more in depth on the level that you just beat. I don't know, man. That could be really cool. It could also be super lame, but I'm here for it. I'm here to see. I'm here to either like ride the coaster into the sky or to ride it while it crashes and burns. So.
Yeah, and it's piqued my interest because it's outside of the box. Like, hats off to Squanch Games. They haven't just made a first-person shooter that's like really funny. They've like really touched in some areas. You're shooting the NPC kids and stuff like that. they're thinking outside the box. How can we make our game different that people are going to talk about? It's going to draw people in to see what it's about, and that's what they've done. They like just with that tiny bit of info. Like Hambo and Johnny dropped that in the Discord, and people are like, "Oh my god, I'm really excited for this because it's different." So
Yeah, I don't know if I'm excited about it or not. Antonio says it sounds like it might just be a gimmick filler to put a bullet point on the back of a box, and then he says, "Remember boxes," on the back of a digital box. It could be. It could be. I don't know, but it just all depends on how well it's done. But like I said, I'm here for if it rides in the sky or if it crashes and burns. Uh, I'll ride the roller coaster to the end. So you're high on life. I just like to say that.
oh yeah.
You're high on life, and I think I gotta be too. I want to be different. I mean, I'm super interested in the Lego Star Wars. I think me and the kids will have a lot of fun with that game. But what
And
I'm most interested in, yeah, it's High on Life for sure.
I was swayed between High on Life and Hello Neighbor 2 because Hello Neighbor was a very interesting game
Mm-hmm.
in the fact that you were against one AI that was driven by multiple AI to try and stop you from getting into the house. Hello Neighbor 2, um, you play some kind of journalist, and there is multiple of these AI in a gated community driven by more multiple AI that are trying to keep you out of that gated community to stop you from doing the research that you want to do on the people in this community, highlighting around the original guy from the first game. So they've kind of like taken the whole idea of that game and gone, we're going to expand it and make it more crazy and more difficult. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a tie between High on Life and Hello Neighbor 2. So,
Wow,
but
I'm
High on
surprised Hello
Life
Neighbor 2 is that high for you. I played the first one. I liked it. I mean, I liked it. That's where I'd probably stop right there. Um, yeah, Antonio, like I said, I think he brings up Lego Skywalker Saga. I think I will I will have fun with that game with the kiddos. Um, but me personally, High on Life between High on Life and Lego Stars, I'm gonna go High on Life. Antonio is going to eat his own foot if High on Life wins Game of the Year award. Which I don't think
I
it
don't
will.
think it's even
I think your
nominated, is it?
feet are safe, Antonio. I think they are, but
Is it nominated for most anticipated?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I,
So I
I don't
can't see
really.
it winning any
I
of the
don't really
Game of the Year
know.
awards.
I don't keep up with that stuff. I just don't. Probably should more than I do, but I don't. So that's what we liked most in November, what we're looking for in December, what we're looking forward to in December. Hey, Sean, there was a new Mario trailer, a new Mario
Oh
movie
no!
trailer,
So excited.
and it looks freaking amazing. Like really, it made me think, what, like, okay, we have the multiple butt shot Halo live action. All right, we got that going on. I personally liked it. I know a lot of people hated it. Whatever, you're all your own deal. But what franchise, what game, what character could Halo or could not Halo could Microsoft like do something like Mario movie esque like Nintendo's doing here? So full animation, or we're pretty sure full animation. Some people are still betting there's some live action little piece to this, but let's assume full animation because that's what we've seen. Um,
I can't see just I can't see any live action to Mario. I think we've seen the point now where Mario doesn't know who he is
mhm.
with the whole training ground with Princess Peach, smacking her face against the top of the castle. Um, so I don't think there's going to be a live action aspect to this.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Um, but as for what, I mean, Psychonauts is probably one of the big ones that sticks out.
That's a good
You,
point.
you give Psychonauts to Illumination and say, like, hey, look, you've got full reign to run absolutely crazy with this. Psychonauts is a pretty good nod for a decent, because you could that. I mean, just from playing the little bit of Psychonauts 2 and the whole like box puzzle level, and with all the like the hospital and stuff, there's so much you could probably do with that as an animation, like Illumination could do with that, like they're doing with Mario,
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah,
kind of
and
spin off that.
they got the witty humor's already kind of baked in. There's a lot that's already there. The characters are funky and fun. Yeah, I mean, so I hadn't thought about Psychonauts, but that makes a lot of sense.
Grounded,
Um,
would be a pretty good one. You could do an
yeah, that's what
animated
Ninja
Honey, I
Lunchbox
Shrunk the
said.
Kids.
Yeah, you know, but I'm afraid if they do Grounded, like there's a Honey I Shrunk the Kids deal here comparison that that would like definitely be made. Now, granted, I understand this. We're talking animated completely, and that wasn't. But yeah, it's always amazed me at how close those two, like Honey I Shrunk the Kids and Grounded, are kind of like parallel. Once you put it in movie form, I feel like you would really see entirely how similar they are. I mean, they're fighting bugs, they're
Yeah.
doing all the stuff. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind a Grounded. Um, the thing is, I just don't think, because I thought about this, I just don't think they have. The movies are going to an Illumination movie of these franchises are going to make more buzz than the games themselves do, right?
Yeah.
Whereas it's like flipped with Nintendo, right? Sure, they're going to bring in a new crowd, and that's great, and that's what Nintendo wants to do with this Mario movie. But the Mario video game carries more buzz. Well, I don't know. I don't know in this particular instance, but it carries somewhat equal buzz to the to a Mario movie.
I'm trying to think, like, when did Mario originally become Mario? Because at first he was in Donkey Kong and he wasn't known as Mario. He was known as Jumpy Man.
Yeah,
Or
he was
something like
Jumpman,
that,
yeah.
wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Jumpman. So I'd say it's like late 1980s that Mario became Mario. Something like 84, 85
You
towards
are
86.
past me. The story I hear is that they were late on warehouse rent. I have no idea if this is an accurate story, so anybody's be happy to be like, nope, that's not accurate. They were late on warehouse rent, like young Nintendo of America, and they agreed to name Mario after the warehouse owner to forego rent for their new game. I don't know if that's true, but that's a story that I've heard. So
Yeah, so 1983 was when Mario Bros. For the NES was released. So if you want to go off the back of the franchise size, 1983 to now is a hell of a lot of time.
yeah, that's true.
And you've built a massive, like a huge following on that. You've got like Mario Bros. And you released like the fact that there was Luigi and you brought Toad, Princess, and there were so many different characters into it, so many different enemies into it. You've got many different ways. So you've got Mario Party, you've got Mario Golf, you've got Mario Kart, you've got Mario Strikers, you've got all the different variants of games that have come over the time. You've got Mario versus Sonic at the Olympics. So you've done the crossovers, you've done this, you've done that, you've got sports related games, you've got your racer, you've got loads and loads and loads of like individual IPs for this game and this franchise. The natural progression for this was to take it into the movie industry. Because I think from Mario Odyssey, you couldn't go and do a Mario Odyssey 2. They'd gone as far as they could with that game, for me. You then go into the movie franchise, and your next game or games can be based around the characters looking like they were. You can bring voiceovers into the games because you can use Charlie Day, Chris Pratt. You can use Jack Black to voice Bowser rather than it just being pop-up speech bubbles of
what I wouldn't give for that.
stuff.
That's interesting. I'll be really interested to see if that's the way they go with that. You did point out you talking did bring something to mind. All these franchises, so like I think of like Banjo Kazooie and all these franchises we're mentioning have like tentpole characters, and I use that kind of in air quotes because they're not like Mario sized tentpole characters. But they don't entirely have a universe built around them, right? So
no,
it's like yes,
apart from Link.
Yeah, it's like you not only know Mario, you know Luigi, and you know Peach, and you know Bowser, and you know all these other universe of characters built around them with the Toads and the Toadstools and all this stuff, and it becomes this whole universe. Whereas these other franchises that Microsoft have are not fleshed out like that. There's just like characters in a game that they know, and anybody besides those tentpole characters are kind of like, meh, I don't know, like kind of know.
Like you couldn't even use Gears of War. You couldn't do an animated version of Gears of War. If you were going to do a Gears of War, you'd have to do it live action.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but there's no other way. Like they took that game graphically as close to realistic as they could. So
yeah, and plus I'm not taking my 8-year-old to an animated Gears of War. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I mean, you could use Doom Guy. You could do an animated version of Doom, but again, you ain't going to be taking no kids to that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a demographic for it. Probably be pretty cool, but yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, I'd do that. Netflix series, do a Doom Guy Netflix series.
Yeah, Ninja Lunchbox does point out there is a Gears of War movie that's coming. I don't know much about it, but I have heard that. So
yeah, but no, the Mario trailer looked great. There was so many different pieces in that. The whole thing where Peach walks down the stairs and they show the whole global map from above with all the toads stood on it, and you've got like all the different kingdoms.
Yeah.
So they can build so much off this. This is where I'm going with the games, is that you can build so much off the movie. And they're pushing the artwork now. So we're seeing more artwork with Mario and Luigi and Bowser. Like, I have a feeling that these are going to be the kind of things that are in the next games. We're going to see Mario come away from the Odyssey look towards the movie look.
I think they're going to need a higher performing console to make that happen, though, because that is not a look that I think the Switch can pull off at the moment. I may be wrong, but that's just But also, does this mean that like the next generation, if you're right, this means the next generation ain't going to know who Charles Martinet is? They're going to be like, oh yeah, it's the Chris Pratt voice. Yeah, Chris Pratt, that's Mario. Chris Pratt. I mean, can you imagine? It's going to be crazy.
Charles Martinet is listed in the voice actors casting for the film. And at the very end of the trailer where Mario starts to drift the car, you hear him go, woohoo! Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's Chris Pratt or Charles Martinet. That's how close the voices are getting for me.
Yeah. That'll be pretty crazy.
I will take a full-on moment here and say I have sat at work, listened to the trailers without looking at them, like without watching the video, and just listened to the voices, and I'm like, Charlie Day is Luigi, dude. It's so perfect. Where Bowser's pulling his mustache out, and he's like, ah, it's just Charlie Day for now on is now Luigi to me. That's it, done.
Yeah, it's I have not been this excited to see a movie in a very, very long time. I'm not a movie buff. I don't really, it's not something I really get into. But man, I will fight tooth and nail to get day one tickets to this puppy. Those are going to be hard to come by, though, I'm sure. So so Mario movie looks freaking amazing. News bulletins.
And we don't think there isn't going to be a franchise that Xbox can pull this off with.
No, that's the final right there. No, the Xbox does not have a franchise fleshed out enough to make something like this happen. And that's not because Nintendo is an older company. Because I think 20 years of Nintendo, which would have put them around 2002 basically. Right around there, which I mean I understand is like basically the start of life for Xbox, but still 20 years of Nintendo, they did have a fleshed out franchise enough universe to pull off movies like this. They didn't. First one wasn't the best plan in the world. That didn't work out the best, but it's really just I don't know if it's a lack of forethought on Microsoft's part or it's just not what they're pointing to. I'm not sure, but they lack that piece for sure, and I don't know if they even want it. But if they do,
well, we've said it from day one, like of doing Game Pass News. There isn't a mascot.
Yeah,
Microsoft, not really. Xbox.
Not really.
Other than Master Chief, but I mean, that's probably about it.
I feel like it would be an interesting conversation, not for today, but like, if you think about mascots, a lot of times they're like adorable and lovable and endearing and charming and all those things. And Master Chief ain't really many of those things, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, but then
I don't know if
Microsoft
he
and
can even
Xbox
beat
kind
him.
of aim at the mature gamers.
That's true.
So
That's true.
it plays into Master Chief plays into the I'm an absolute one man marching band badass. So that
It's
plays
true.
into the adult.
But even though they're playing into that, can that be a mascot? That's my question. Like yes, I get it. Master Chief is what they're aiming for. But because that's what they're aiming for, can he be a mascot? Like, is that like I just can't think of a mascot that looks okay, maybe Star Wars somewhat has that kind of vibe to it. I don't know. It's a conversation for another day. So let's move into news bulletins. We don't have many. Grounded has an update bringing the first holiday treats into Xbox, into since its full Xbox launch. Not sure what those are. I haven't been in Grounded in forever because I'm afraid if I go back, I'll get sucked in and Sean will never find me again. And also Xbox is selling controller hoodies. What? Why? I thought this
See,
was a joke when I saw this, Sean. I saw this
yeah,
on Carpool Gaming's Twitter, and I was like, "What kind of freaking joke is that? What are they? What? Why?"
see, when I originally saw this in the doc, I was like, "Oh, right, cool." So, is this like off the back of Design Labs that you can get this really cool hoodie with your own
Yeah.
controller design on? And I was like, "Oh, this is quite interesting." Then I clicked on the link, and I was like, "No, this is literally tiny little hoodies for my controllers."
And they don't even fit well. Have you seen the controller in there? Like it's kind of
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, I was
super
looking at it earlier.
baggy. I mean I don't understand this. I don't get it at all. It's like $20 or something like that. $25 I think, something like that
Yeah,
for these controller hoodies.
the controller hoodie is $24.99.
Yeah.
You can get a puffin drinkware, which is like it just goes around the can that you're drinking. That's $22.99, and so is the like the hoodie that goes around the can that you're drinking.
But they're gonna
Just
sell a shit ton of these, aren't they?
yeah, they are. They're
They are.
gonna young kids are gonna go on this. You're looking at like the Western market. Sorry, the Eastern market. We are the Western market, Sean. Come on, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. The Eastern market are probably going to really like this. I mean, I quite like the white one, but I'd never use it on the controller. It's just one of those things that I'd like it just be there. But we're looking at like it's got the full, the black and green has got the full honeycomb look, like at the top of the Series X, and the white on the white with the green looks like digital camo, white and grey. They've got little zips, little hoods. It's just, yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, they go
don't
with the
really.
tagline of "Is that much love special edition pad of yours getting cold this winter?" No, because it's in my friggin' hand all the time. It doesn't get cold.
Ninja Lunchbox says we need to go to the Christmas store where there's ornament shirts, a cheese board, and even a Christmas tree in the back of a warthog. I have not seen these things, but they when you're
I'm gonna
selling
go look
hoodies
for
for
this cheese
controllers,
board.
I'm not surprised.
Just
Oh
very
man.
quickly, I want to look at this cheese board.
All right, so there you go. Those are news bulletin. Unfortunately, I really am beginning to hate this section. I started off as like fun. Antonio says he's buying all of it. Um, it started out as fun, and I was kind of enjoying it. But now on to acquisition watch, where Microsoft is likely to offer remedies soon for Activision Blizzard deal in Europe. Also, probably because they've gotten wind that the FTC is likely to file a lawsuit at the beginning of 2023 because they have their own qualms and concerns about this thing. Sean, are we still going to see this wrap up in June? I know you're an acquisition lawyer, so you know all about it.
I'm hoping so. I'm kind of hoping that the the remedies for the issue that they've got with Sony and the UK side of things is going to fix that issue. And then I'm also kind of hoping that what they do with the UK and Europe will transfer across to the US, and hopefully they'll like the Trade
Mm-hmm.
Commission in the US. So they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you've proven this over in the EU and with UK. Yeah, we can kind of see how that flies, and it'll just be kiboshed really quick and fly through. But I can also see, looking at this, that Microsoft are likely to offer remedies. The fact that they're having to sit there and think about it says to me that they're kind of getting to the point where this is getting really fed up. They're kind of like, look, there's too much bad press going on about this now. We were hoping that like this was just going to slide through and people weren't going to kick up much of a fuss.
Yeah,
Stupidly, probably.
So I have heard that their Microsoft people and PlayStation have been in a room together, hashing this out, and I think that's really what needs to happen. You know, do what you got to do to get Sony to shut up and to kind of say, all right, we feel like we've got what we need. Sure, you can do this. Either that, or basically, if they can't come to an agreement, they got to go to war and just say, see you in court. You might not, either you're going to win or you might not get nothing. Take this negotiation or see you later. And I mean, to be fair,
and when we say not,
go ahead.
when we say not get nothing, I don't think that means that the acquisition won't go through. I just think Sony or Xbox won't get the better share of the deal regarding the issues that they've got.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, Microsoft's gonna, but to be fair, even at this point, I mean, now we're talking governmental agencies. So even if they get Sony on their side enough to give a thumbs up to this deal, because they put something in writing that Sony's appeased by, it may be too late. I mean, not too late that it won't go through, but too late that it's not going to be a big fuss, because politicians like to, make a fuss, and
that's what they get paid for.
That's right. But it is not smooth sailing anymore. It's funny how much a couple months can do. We were in the middle of the summer. Phil and Nadella were all like, "Oh yeah, things are great. We're good. Everything's fine." And then all of a sudden, rocky waters came quick, and here we are in the midst of this. So.
That's what happens when you come to the UK.
Yeah, you were just the start. I think America was just kind of waiting their turn. They were like, "All right, we'll let the UK take their punches, and then we'll join in once we feel like we're good and ready." So it'll be interesting to see what January holds for this acquisition. But they wanted June, and June's actually doesn't seem that far away when they're still in the depths of where they're at in this acquisition. So
yeah, and if you want to keep up with the news, we will. Anything that comes out about the acquisition, we'll always report about it every week. So
that's right. Even if I'm a little sick of it at this point, I will still talk about it. All right. Game Pass headlines out this week. Soccer story. It's been a year since the calamity tore the foundations of the soccer world apart, and now there's no more soccer, except for Soccer Inc. But you get a magic soccer ball and can go return soccer to its glory and play a bunch of soccer matches, and it's a lot like Golf Story, except the dialogue isn't as good. I've put in probably about 6 hours, but it's glitchy. I'm going to report on it right now. It's glitchy. It glitched 2 or 3 times for me, and the autosave is not very often. And the real kick in the pants is to save the game, to the best that I could see, you literally have to quit the game. You have to not the game, but you have to quit back to the main menu, which gives you a save. And then you can go back in. There's no hey, I just want to save this. Not that you should have to do that for a game. You should know that the game's going to run. But I have probably had to replay about an hour worth of gameplay because the game soft locked on me. And when I came out and went back in, I was about half an hour behind. So
ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, and so at the moment, that is where that's at.
The other game that came out this week is Insurgency Sandstorm, which is a team-based tactical first-person shooter based on lethal close quarters combat and objective-oriented multiplayer gameplay. Sounds a lot like DMZ. Experience the intensity of modern combat where skill is rewarded and teamwork wins the fight. I haven't got around to playing this. I haven't played anything this week, really. So feedback from outside would be welcomed. But like I said last week, if you're a first-person shooter and you like Call of Duty, or have wanted to get into Call of Duty but a bit nervous about I'm not very good at first-person shooters, this is probably where I'd start to get used to the pace.
Yeah, that makes sense. Chained Echoes, a story-driven JRPG drops. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I moved too quick. Yesterday, Warhammer 40K Darktide. It's PC only. There's a whole slew of Warhammer games. One just left Game Pass, and just one just came on. I said I was going to play it, and I didn't realize it was PC only. Oops, my bad. So should have played the one that was on the console that just left. Didn't know that was going to happen.
Well, if you do have a PC and you want to get in on the PC Game Pass, or wanted to try and give it a go, hit me up in the Discord or give us a shout on Twitter. I've got a free 1 month pass for that where you can play Warhammer 40k Darktide.
There you go. Look at you. You're just the nicest guy, I tell you. Also today, Total Reliable Delivery. This is a very physicsy, Raggedy Ann type physics game where you grab packages. It can be local co-op or internet. You can use their internet to go online and play with friends. You gotta try to get package from one place to the other. As I played it by myself, I'd like to play it with my kids and see if it's any better. I found it kind of annoying, and just to be really honest, I found it annoying and difficult and no fun. But I think it was mostly meant to be a party game. So with a group of people, this could be hilarious fun. So I'll say that. But for one guy, yeah, not very great. There wasn't anything wrong with it. It didn't glitch or anything like that. It just wasn't fun. Walking Dead final season on Game Pass right now. And then Eastward, I believe, is a narrative game, but I'm sorry, I don't know much more about it than that, to be honest. So, and that is this week, folks. We had quite the bit of games this week come out.
Yep. And then next week, let me very quickly look at these in chronological order. When does Skywalker Saga drop? So there's no date for that.
There's no date. I wouldn't do that. The 6th. That's what I have here, at least.
The 6th. Okay, cool. So on the 6th of December, you're getting both Lego Star Wars and Skywalker Saga, which, if you're a fan of the Lego series, you already know a lot about this game. I'm assuming it's like a playthrough of all the different, I don't know, I'm assuming it's a playthrough of all the different Star Wars games from the Skywalker's point of view, but I am entirely sure because I don't follow Star Wars or Lego games that well. So
I thought you're not a Lego fan? I thought you liked those.
I'm a Lego fan in terms of building it. I don't like playing the games because I find that they just become a giant button mash, same old, same old.
A button mash collectathon? Yes, please.
Yeah. which isn't for me. So, but yeah, a lot of people who, if you're excited for this, you've already seen it played on other games, or you've watched people play it, or you've played it on the Switch or on other consoles or bought it. So, the other game that comes out on 6th of December is Hello Neighbor 2, which is a family-friendly horror game that invites you to a seemingly quiet town of Raven Brooks. It seems that everyone seems to be hiding something. You're an investigative journalist looking to uncover the darkest secrets of your neighbors and solve a case of Mr. Peterson, which is the infamous antagonist from Hello Neighbor 1.
I'm sorry, you just said a family-friendly horror game.
Yeah.
Those are two things that I'm not sure I ever thought would go together.
Well, if I remember the first one, there was no blood, there was no gore, there was no violence.
Fair. So I get where they're going with it. It's just kind of hilarious.
So you sneak around, search for clues behind the mysteries, and play against complex opponents controlled by advanced AIs. The whole town is now your playground. So you're not just locked to the house. There's a whole entire town that you can walk around. So they've really expanded this game. It's got a investigative journalist simulator feel to the game. And you've just got to try and outsmart the AI and try and unearth all the secrets that the gated community are trying to protect.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, yeah, I enjoyed the first one. I have a really funny moment with Jay. We're playing the first one because we played it together. It was hilarious. I won't mention it on here because it's very embarrassing for her, but it'll always stick with me for a very long time. So that's the first two games that are coming out next week. And on the 8th of December, we're getting Chained Echoes, which is a story-driven JRPG where a group of heroes travel around the vast continent of Valandis to bring an end to the war between its three kingdoms. I mean, this game's boasting 30 to 40 hours of gameplay, fast-paced, turn-based battles. There's no random encounters. Yeah, there's no random encounters, so it's not like Final Fantasy where you'll be walking along, or Pokemon where you're walking along and going through the grass and it just randomly fires up a battle. All enemies can be seen running around. There's tons of items to be looted, stolen, or craft. Complex skill and equipment systems. You can customize your own airship, and it's got a 16-bit Super Nintendo style graphics. So it's probably going to pull on the heartstrings of all those retro gamers.
That's right. All those nostalgic dads are going to be buying that sucker, or, well, downloading it, whatever. So, yeah. But not this one. Not this nostalgic dad. New game announced, coming in 2023. That was the wrong sound that I made with my mouth. Monster Hunter Rise, January 20th, 2023. You know, I'm probably not going to play this game very long, but I'm certainly interested in dabbling in it. Maybe John can help me, get good armor quick or something. I'll just see if he wants to play a couple of rounds, and he can kill the guy, and I'll basically touch it, whack at it a little bit, and then take what I need. That's a sound clip that we don't really want to ever take. Don't.
Just somebody can clip.
Yeah, touch, whack. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. What kind of show is this, anyways?
We
just lost all of our viewers.
Crouching into the Dads After Dark realm with that one.
Anyways, Monster Hunter. Moving on. What's leaving, Sean?
There is a plethora of games leaving.
Yeah, I know. Do we even care?
Aliens, Fireteam Elite, but I think that's to make room for the next Aliens game that's going to be coming out soon. Breath Edge, Dragon Quest, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Firewatch, which I'm quite sad about leaving because I enjoyed that game and I think Jay has played it a couple of times. John Blanco is going to be sad because the lake's disappearing.
Definitely.
One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, Neoverse, Race with Ryan, which I believe is the racing game with the little kid that was a massive hit on YouTube, Ryan. Record of Lawless War, Rory McIlroy PGA Tour is disappearing, and Transformers Battlegrounds is the other game. And they're all leaving on the 15th of December, which is a big drop of games to fall off again.
Yeah, but I mean, nothing that you're super sad about, right? I mean, it's well, okay. I mean,
no, other than Firewatch, which
yeah,
I think I might try go back and see if there's a different way of playing through that game. But that's a big might go back. So.
I reviewed Breath Edge for the Nintendo Dads, and that can go die in a fire. That's all I can say.
That can go die in the woodland fire in Firewatch.
Yeah. It can go die in a space fire because that's where you are, and you're supposed to collect these things and craft this stuff, but they don't tell you where anything is, so then you just fly around and die of loss of oxygen or of one of many other ways, and yeah, that one. Nope. Not for me.
Nope.
Not for me.
So don't go play that game. And we finally got a new game with gold. So as always with your Xbox Live Gold subscription, you get a game. You get pretty decent games as well. We've got into the Xbox One era, and the next game that you can get is Colt Canyon. Colt Canyon is a stylish pixel art shooter with roguelike elements and real-time combat where you save your kidnapped partner from ruthless bandits. I've never played this in the past. The game art looks hilarious. So, do you say you played it?
No, I haven't either. No.
Okay.
I just like to make fun gun hands. Shoot at the camera. Gun hands.
that's now going from the 1st of December to the 31st. So, and I think we have another game coming a little bit later on in the month, and we'll tell you about that next week.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we will. All right, that is top stories. On to our Xbox Spotlight. Sean, why don't you go first?
So as I said at the beginning of the podcast, it's been we had a bit of a weekend where I just kind of spent a bit of time with the kids. Well, because we only had one of the three at the weekend. I spent a bit of time with Logan. We kind of did some drawing, did some making stuff. He got some kinetic sand for his birthday, so we got that out and played with that for a bit and made loads of different shapes.
Oh, I love kinetic sand. It's the best.
Yeah, it just smells funny. I couldn't get over how strange it smelled. But it's the first time I ever played with the stuff, so I thought it was quite interesting.
It's fun.
Yeah. So I didn't really play a right lot over the weekend, and then with I've worked the hours that I've worked so far. So the only game I've been playing is Marvel Snap. I kind of picked this up Sunday night, knowing that if I got a bit of downtime at work, I'd need something to distract me. So I wasn't just scrolling through like Facebook or YouTube videos and stuff like that, watching just crap. So I picked up Marvel Snap, and this game has got me by the short and curlies. It's if and this is a big if Xbox wanted to make a mobile game with King, they need to make something like this. It is so simple, but there is so many different dynamics to the game that make it highly addictive to play, but also really nice. Like if you play the game with the sound on, each card, so like if you play Iron Man, it plays like all the Iron Man sounds, but the card animation as it goes to lay down and where you put the card is like it uses the Iron Man boosters to fly it there and things like cool. That. There's loads of different like elements to the game in terms of that. Each card some have abilities, some don't. So when you put a card down, it might have a reveal, like on reveal ability, or they might have an ongoing boost, like buff, which kind of as the game goes on, it buffs that card and other cards around it. So it becomes like a strategy to it, which is quite cool. But I am big into this game. I started talking to Chris NHL and Esco Richard, Max Power, about different decks and how they like kind of all work together, because you can get some cards that work with together. So I think one of them is if you drop a Bucky card down with then Carnage from Venom, Carnage then destroys Bucky and brings the Winter Soldier, which is he has more power than that. It's good. It's an interesting game to play. I'm not normally one for card-based games, but this one I'm very much enjoying. So,
Golf Dad says Lake is leaving Game Pass, and if you haven't played it yet, I suggest you do. And I did play it. I thought it was okay, but I sorry, I didn't mean to jump in, but I just saw it. So if I play Marvel Snap, is there anything that is there any kind of, I know it's not co-op, but is there any way we can work together or share experience or does playing together matter at all?
There's reading about, there's rumors about being able to add friends, and then you can kind of you create a clan or I don't know, a team, and then that team can earn points to unlock other cards. But you can also play friendly games between each other as well if you're both online. So there is rumors of that update coming soon, but I haven't seen anything of it yet.
I was thinking, I'm a lot in your boat. I was waiting for something, or I was at the doctor's office, and obviously I'm not going to bring my Switch there. It just didn't, not obviously, but for this particular instance, it didn't work. And so I was like, man, I just need something to do. And I too didn't want to just roll through Facebook and all the other junk. And I thought, Marvel Snap. Sean's been talking about that, so maybe I'll download it. I mean, I was a big Clash of Clans fan, So, no, I'm sorry. Well, I was a Clash of Clans fan, but that doesn't correlate. Clash Royale fan.
Yeah, the card-based
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So this has that level of addiction for me because I was the same.
I
The
probably
Clash
shouldn't
Royale
download
was
it, but I'm
huge.
gonna. So, all right, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I mean, I'm Marvel is like not my. That doesn't like draw me, but having something I can play that, like you're saying, that doesn't have me flipping through random crap, instead being addicted to a card game sounds like fun. Let's do that. I'll do that. Anything else for you?
No, unfortunately, that's it.
Not unfortunately. You've worked a bazillion and a half hours, so we totally get it. For me, I have still been playing Minecraft. Not much to report there, but kids still loving it. Especially my daughter, actually. My daughter oftentimes is like, hey, can we play Minecraft? So the three of us play that quite a bit. Soccer Story, I've pretty much already talked about. The game mechanics in that game are great. The dialogue isn't so much on point with like something like a Golf Story, but it's still good. It's just those glitches, and then it pushes you back in playthrough time, and that's just annoying. And I just, as you said, ain't nobody got time for that. Party Golf. This is a recommendation. I watched a recommendation from Marty, really, a while ago, but then I watched them all play it on their Extra Life stream. We had a bunch of kids here for the week, so I downloaded Party Golf, and yeah, we had a lot. We've had a lot of fun with that game. It's been a lot of fun. It's a 2D screen. Basically, you just use the left joystick and the A button to kind of maneuver stuff around, and every once in a while, you use the X for like some type of power up. And there's like a bazillion different modes. There's not a bazillion, but there is like over 100 modes you can play, different ways you can play. You might be a banana. You might like be a ball that can lay mines to try to prevent other people or to shoot yourself up. You might play as a brick. I mean, man, there's so many different things. You could play as animals that get stuck to each other. We've just been having fun going through that. So I'd recommend that it's a good party game. And I talked about totally reliable delivery. I'll probably bring that up again next week when I have time to play with Noah or something like that and see what I think of that. But that's really out of that list. Oh, and I skipped it because I want to talk about it last. I played DMZ Warzone. I've only played 2 rounds. I have not played that long. I'm still in the confusion, like where the hell am I supposed to go? Kind of mindset at the moment. But the one thing I do like, and the reason I downloaded it, was because you said there were bots. And I really like that. Like, I can go in and I can kill some people. Bots, not people. Kill some bots. And feel like I actually did some stuff and had a good time and didn't just get, like, dropped into the map and then blown away by some guy that's 10 times better at me at FPS than I am. And so for that reason, I really did like it. I could see playing it with a group of people. I'm probably not going to jump into it a ton by myself, but like if you got into it, there's a couple other guys locally here that play it. Like I'll keep it on there just in case. I will say I had to download something a third time. So man, it was a painful attempt, but I did get there. I downloaded it. Once it's done, it's probably on me, so I wouldn't ding it on the game. It's probably just on me not understanding how these type of games work, that you got all the different options and all the different things. But I got it downloaded, and yeah, it's fun. I enjoyed it. I shot so there apparently there was no friendly fire, or you can't shoot your own teammates.
No.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's what I thought. I either thought I was a really shitty shot or there was no friendly fire, because I unloaded like 3 clips into the guy before I finally realized that he was it was my own teammate. It was the first time I played, and I'm just like sitting there. I really thought everybody was dead or like gone or whatever. Well, I had to take a phone call, and so playing, working, doing that thing, and so I took a phone call and I came back. I was surprised that I was still there. And I was like, oh, okay. So I start playing again, and I really thought I was the only one left on my team. And then out of nowhere, this guy comes by, I didn't pay attention to the fact that he had a little tag above his name. I just like put multiple rounds into him. And finally I hear him be like, "Stop shooting me. I'm on your team, you asshole." And I was like, "Oh, my bad." I didn't have a headset on, so I couldn't tell him. Sorry. But that's my funny DMZ Warzone story for the moment. So that's all I've been playing.
Hopefully, I'll have a little bit more to report. I'm hoping to try and play something. Say like Monday. I've got Logan's nativity to go to, and try and get some sleep after finishing nights. So Monday and Tuesday's probably going to be my only day to dedicate to playing some kind of games.
Hey, dad life, man. That's how it happens. Happens that way sometimes. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into some party chat. We have a couple of questions.
Yep. So when you say a couple of questions, we have a 4-part question from Blanco, from Dads After Dark, and then Hambo and Johnny's left us with a question which I've kind of answered in the Discord, but I'm going to answer it again now on the episode just so it keeps people in the loop. So John asks, let's play a little bit more of how well do the Game Pass news dudes know each other?
That's a fair point.
Question 1 is, who is your partner's favorite video game character of all time?
So we saw these questions. We did not reach out to each other, although I was tempted. I'm not going to lie. I will pick one, but I'm gonna name the 3 that came to mind immediately. And these were the 3 that made it hard to narrow down between for you. Sonic was there, Mario was there, and the Doom guy was there.
Yeah, definitely Doom guy.
And I was like, but you already said the Doom guy, but I'm going to say I was going to go with Sonic. I don't know how much that's true or not, but
yeah, Sonic, Doom guy, Mario. If we're going to sit down and we're going to play a Nintendo game, if we were going to play Mario Party, I'd always aim for Yoshi. So Yoshi's like, yeah, he's my cute guy.
Got it.
See, I'd struggle. I was going to Mario. I'm trying to think. What would you play a lot that you enjoy? See, we never played Smash together because that's always one. If you want to know somebody's favorite Mario game, like favorite character, you always play Smash together because you know who they're going to rotate to.
Well, actually, that would have worked out, although I don't necessarily play that character because he's my favorite character. Oh, I just kind of gave you a little hint. But I play it because he's the one that I understand the best. I mean, I suck at Smash, but I understand his moves the best. Maybe it is because I like him the most. I don't
know. It's not Kirby. Kirby's a pretty decent character to use in Smash.
No.
No, he's got here. I wouldn't know, like, because you play a variance of different games. So,
and this franchise hasn't come out in a while on a Nintendo platform, to be fair.
That makes it no less easier.
No, it really doesn't. I'll just tell you. It is Donkey Kong. And that
I thought it was Dan that was the big Donkey Kong fan, not you.
Oh, Dan probably is more of a Donkey Kong fan than me. I love Donkey Kong Country because it has nostalgia for me. My mom would buy the newest game, and my mom was a single mom, so she'd buy the newest game. She would take off 2 weeks during Christmas, and we would play those games together. Like I played Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 with my mom over Christmas time, and that I always knew that was probably going to be a Christmas present for me. So for that reason, it holds a soft spot in my heart. So yeah, that would have been a hard one to grab because there hasn't been a Donkey Kong out for a while.
But I know if you turned your camera to the right, And we think, to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Ever so slightly, there is a Donkey Kong sticking his head out of the hole.
Yep, there he is.
There he is. Look.
Yep. Somebody covered him up by some iron thingy-majiggers. So yeah, but there he is. Yeah,
there he is. See his crazy eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So number 2, which Game Pass game that they downloaded and started did your partner nope out of the fastest? You never downloaded any of the Outlast games, so it won't be those.
Yeah, no, I wasn't silly enough to download them. Otherwise, that probably would have been the answer.
It was a horror style game that you played. I think you played it while we were trying to just play other games that each other liked, but I can't remember the name of it.
I'm having a recency bias problem. Is the thing at the moment? Like Pentiment is like stuck in my head at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
the Coffee Story would have been the two for me.
Okay.
Not Coffee Story.
Yeah.
The one with the little witch on the train.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, those games are awful. But so you didn't have noped out of the fastest.
You're not wrong, although I mean, it's kind of a horror game. You're thinking of the right thing. You just we played each other's faves, and you had me play this game, and I was out of it pretty quick.
It wasn't Doom.
It was Doom.
Yeah, Doom Eternal. Yeah, Doom Eternal.
Yeah, I was out of it pretty quick. I mean, I played through a good bit of the first section, but yeah, I know that's probably one of the games I've noped out of the quick. I was like, this is not for me. So yeah.
If your partner could have one thing today that was never made it to the finish line, or in some cases not yet, which would they choose? The HoloLens, the Puck Starfield, or Game Pass Family Plan? Excuse me. I'd have chosen the Puck for you because I think that would be so useful to yourself for being able to play in many different places.
Yeah, I would love
Family Plan so you could share it with Noah.
Yeah, they're really close. They're really close. Yeah.
That would mean you need the Puck.
Mm-hmm. I would go, even though technically the HoloLens exists and it's used but it's not used on a consumer basis. It's used on a commercial basis. Because it costs like $5,000 pop. I was thinking the HoloLens for you because you're like into VR, and if they brought in a HoloLens and you could play your, Xbox games and do it all via fandangled VR, that was what I think you would think was the coolest.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for them to. I think the Meta Quest was trying to work on being able to play the xCloud via VR. But I'm still waiting for that to drop properly because I don't think it's quite there yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would probably be the one. And his last one, which he already answered really, is which one of you accidentally says Game Pass News instead of Game Pass more often?
Apparently it's me. I don't even know I did that. I'm sure I don't at all dispute it. I'm just saying I don't even know it's a thing, John. So
yeah, I try to make the effort to say Game Pass subscription because I know for a fact if I just said Game Pass, news would follow it quite naturally now. So.
I'll have to now I'm gonna really pay attention to that.
And the last section, and it's a bit of an extra one, it says, if Game Pass and Ultimate had an annual subscription, which I desperately wish it did do, what do you think they would charge for it?
Well, so I'm just going to go with Ultimate. Ultimate's $15, so it's 100 and... Why can't I do math in my head? It's so hard.
120 plus...
It'd be 180, right? 180 for it was what you pay a year.
Yeah.
So like if they did 130, is that you think that's cutting off too much?
I don't know. Is it $15.99 a month?
That was
for you guys. It's like $11.99 for me. So
okay, yeah. 100 and
So that's definitely not the right number, Sean. So yeah, 192 a year. So
yeah,
if
I
you
would
wanted
say
to,
like 140. That I just did some quick math. That gets you to that for American. That gets you to $12.
yeah,
But I wouldn't buy it for I would not do a year for $12. I just wouldn't. I would because I can get it at times for $10 when it's real cheap. So I don't know. I think it's got to be 120. If I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon, it's got to be 120 because I can find it on Black Friday sales for $30 every once in a while now. And then I just
yeah.
buy all 4 cards I can get, and I have a year. So yeah, 100, I'm not. I wouldn't pull the trigger on anything less than 120 bucks.
Which then when I think about it, that's an insane amount of money to spend on a subscription. But then, like, I pay 11.99 for my Game Pass. I pay 14.99 for Spotify. So, and I pay the full price that you currently can pay for Netflix because we share it between so many different family members.
Mm-hmm.
Which is clear, that's £300-400 a month on subscriptions. A year, sorry, on subscriptions, which is a
Yeah,
lot.
it
But
is. Yeah, but that's how they get you, right? You're like, oh, it's like
yeah,
$15, big deal, you know? And you do it again and again and again and again and again, and all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, what just happened? So
yep.
yeah, I know.
But yeah, I'd say for yourself, 120 takes you down to $10 a month.
Mm-hmm.
If I pay £120 a year, that wouldn't be too bad. That's £10 a month,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which isn't a great
that's
big
what I'm
saving.
comfortable with. Like I said, I know, a lot of times people talk about, but I don't want. I mean, if the deal was good enough, I guess sure, I would like a subscription. But the deal has to be real good. Otherwise, you're just locking yourself into a thing where you don't know 6 months down the road it might be it might be cheaper. And for us who play it all the time, if the deal's good enough, it's great. But yeah, there's a lot of people I know that do what John does, which is a month here, a month there. I'd
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know if John would jump on a subscription. If it was $120 a year, would he jump on a Game Pass subscription? Because I don't think he would. I mean, that would be like, if you asked me, that's what I would say, because he does this like, a month every, I don't know, 4 to 6 months, and just like binges a bunch of games he wants to play. So
What's the average price for an Xbox game new over there? Is it like $59?
yeah, pretty much. But wait, is it 69 now? I don't know. I don't buy games anymore.
Well, this is the question: is you pay $120 and you look at the games that are potentially coming out next year, or the games that are even coming out over the next month. You've got High on Life, Hello Neighbor 2, you know, there's that many games that I can't remember because
Okay, so it's 69.99 now.
so 69.99. So if you divide that by 69, you can buy 1 3/4 games. So you've got Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, $70. Hello Neighbor 2, that wouldn't be $70. That'd be like 45 because it's not like it could be. High on Life would probably drop at around the $70 mark because of the hype. So you pay 120 for the year. You've just got free games. You've nearly saved yourself $120. It's worth it.
Yeah, but I would hesitate to say, to not like beat yourself over the head with that math. If you're new as a Game Pass subscriber, like, you don't beat yourself over the head about like, well, how much am I? It becomes no fun. I mean, if you're really not playing it, that's fine. Then just know you're not playing it and cancel your subscription. I'd say that with anybody, with any subscription for anything. But if you are playing it and you're like, well, wait, did I play enough games this month? I don't know. Like, I got to play my games this month. Like, oh my gosh, it becomes so like when you try to do the math and figure it out, It's absolutely no fun. You have to realize that there are going to be drought times. It's kind of like your if you jump onto Game Pass, it's like your utility bill, right? Do you do the budget plan? Sure. Then you know you're going to be paying the same amount all year round. If you want to do that, that's great. If you don't, then you know if we're talking heat or if you're talking like natural gas over here, it's like, well, in the summer I'm going to pay $10, and in the winter I might pay like $200. But that's okay. Like, you're in and out. You do what you want to do. But
the other point that I think of is, how much is it for you to just have Xbox Gold every month?
I have no idea. I probably should know that. It's
like,
$5, isn't it?
Say again?
It's $5, right?
I don't know, because it's like $7.99 over here. $7.99 for Xbox Gold or $11.99 for Game Pass Ultimate.
No, that can't be right.
It might be about $9.
Sorry for anybody who can hear my children who are like, I don't know, must be killing each other upstairs. I'm not really sure. $60 for a year of Xbox Live Gold. So $6.
$60. No, that's like $5.
Yeah, okay.
$5.
I don't math well. So okay, leave me alone, people.
So for an extra, so you're looking at it, it's like almost an extra $10 a month. You've got access to hundreds of games. If stepping away from the we haven't got this many games this month. There's that many games in the back catalog. You're gonna find one that you like. Like, all the Doom games are there. You've got the Forza games. You've got Halo. There's so many different games on there, especially big name ones. But then you can go down to the indie developer games like Tunic and stuff like that. There's so many different games that are on there to play that for $120 a year, that's a lot of games. It's a lot of games to play. You'll not play them all in a year. It's a great service.
I agree. 120. That's what I pay. No more. No, any more than that, I can probably find them cheaper on sale, month to month. So Hambone asks, Sean, will you play Fantasy Critic this year?
I am. I'm in. I'm down for it. I've signed up.
Clap.
I haven't a clue what I'm doing. So I'm going to be learning on the fly. But yeah, I'm interested. I think this year's is between him and Tim at the moment. I think Hambone's got Callisto Protocol to come, and Tim's got High on Life. So depending on how well those games do, determines the winner for this year's. So yeah, I've joined next year's. I'm down. I've got it's Hairless Heroes Games is my publisher.
I like it.
So,
I like it.
Just off the bat, you keep calling me the hairless half of Game Pass. So
I plan to do it as well, Hambone, but I'm trying to find. I got stuck in my thought of what a good publisher name was, and then I just I noped out for the time being. But I'll get in there. I don't like Nintendo's uncle, which is what I was this year. I want to find a new one. So that's where I'm at. Right now, I'm in 5th place. And I feel pretty good about that because the game that was supposed to carry me, Tears of the Kingdom, teared me up
too.
And tore me up by getting pushed to 2023. So, and then also, by the way, Microsoft Flight Simulator Top Gun Maverick, which came out this year, didn't get reviewed by enough people to get scored. So, I mean, I'm not complaining or anything. I'm just saying that sucks. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I mean, you'll probably end up finding out that from like once a month we might talk about how we're doing, what games are coming out, and how it's going to affect our scores, because it'll soon absolutely envelop my life.
I was kind of thinking I might pitch this to Hambone and such. I was kind of thinking it'd be fun to pit the family against each other, the family of podcasts against each other. A little Game Pass news and Dad's Retro Logic, Dad's After Dark Fantasy Critic League. I thought that would be kind of fun. So yeah. I don't know. Just thinking.
Just create more animosity between us all.
That's right.
I'm kidding. We don't. We just like to pull on each other's strings a little bit.
That's right. So there you go, man. We have been podcasting for a while, man. We need to wrap this sucker up. This is late.
Yeah,
This
how
is a
long we
long
not
one
had?
for us.
Yeah, time are we at? Wow, yeah, cool. And it's 20 to 2 in the morning. I've got to get up in 5 hours, which is
God
probably
bless you.
about as normal amount of sleep as I get anyway. So, but yeah, thanks very much for the guys that have listened. I think we had some new in chat this evening, so thank you very much for joining us. If you want to get in touch with us via any of our social media accounts, we're over on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Head to those, type in Game Pass News, and you can get involved there. If you want to join us in the Discord, subscribe to our Twitch channel or head over to the Nintendo Does Patreon page and subscribe in there for $1 a month, and I'll get you access. If you want any sweet merchandise, anything with our names and faces on, head over to redbubble.com and look for our store there. That's at Game Pass News. You can buy anything you want: cups, phone cases, hoodies, wallets. It's all there. And don't forget, Achievement Hunters, if you want to go out and get some, earn yourself 3 months of free Game Pass, start playing some games, get those to us. And yeah, thanks very much, guys, for listening. Until next time, we shall see you later.